Balalaika, is the boss of Hotel Moscow. Her real name is Sofia Pavlovna, but that name is not used in her presence. She was brought up by her grandfather, a general in the Red Army of the USSR. Balalaika's father has presumably either been condemned by the USSR or fled the country, as was the case for many of the military commanders of the USSR after its dissolution in December 1991. Before joining the mafia, Balalaika was a captain in the Soviet Army, Vozdushnodesantnye Vojska, translate from Russian, air assault troops, also known as the VDV, paratrooper, and a veteran of the Soviet war in Afghanistan. A fine marksman and sniper, she received the nickname Balalaika, one of the Soviet Army's slang terms for the Dragunov sniper rifle. Balalaika can be easily identified by the burn marks which scar most of the right side of her face, neck, upper chest, breasts and leg, which she sustained in Afghanistan, earning her the nickname Fry Face. She supposedly sustained the scars from being tortured for protecting refugees in Afghanistan, stated by a former soldier of hers in the light novel. She is usually shown smoking a thin Russian cigar, in contrast with the other characters who smoke cigarettes. Using her participation in the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan and the missed possibility to take part in the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, it is possible to define her age between 35 and 40 years old. In April 1986, while on an international illegal operation outside of Soviet territory, Balalaika and her unit saved a child who was in a refugee camp. The media recorded the event that led to the voluntary discharge of Balalaika and her unit promptly deserting the Soviets' forces. Balalaika arrived in Runepur in 1993, now a prominent member of the Russian mafia, which led to a large-scale conflict with the already established triads under Chang's leadership. Rather than destroy the city, a peace was brokered between the rival criminal organizations by Dutch. When conducting foreign operations from Thai soil, she uses the Russian cargo ship Maria Zaleska as a legal cover from the police and various law enforcement agencies. In Japan, she uses the pseudonym Vladilena N. Vasilinov to waltz audaciously through a law enforcement barricade by claiming to be covered by diplomatic immunity in the Fujiyama Gangsta Paradise story arc. She also gives her name as Jane Doe to Caxton in El Baile de la Muerte. Due to Balalaika's leadership during the hellish fighting in Afghanistan, her men look up to her as their superior and will do just about anything upon her orders. As a combat officer, she is a skilled strategist and well-rounded fighter, capable of taking care of herself despite the fact that all of her troopers, including Boris, often worry for her. Although she has shown herself to be rather cynical on occasion, she is also a pragmatic, opportunistic, and professional businesswoman. She is also downright ruthless, willing to go to whatever means to get what she wants. She frequently employs Dutch and the Lagoon Company, apparently because they share a mutual respect. Balalaika regards herself and her men as soldiers who missed their chance to die in Afghanistan. While some of her actions can be interpreted as attempts to pursue an honorable death in combat for her men, Balalaika's status as a military figure is tempered by her role in the criminal underground. She agreed to a pact with Mr. Chang's Hong Kong triad in 1993 and backed away from engaging Caxton's American soldiers in combat after Chang reminded her of their unconcluded fight. Presumably, Balalaika opted for a future battle with Chang over a present opportunity to engage the American unit, which she regards as a foil to her own disgraced Soviet unit. It's also possible that Balalaika simply decided to work with Chang to preserve their joint interest, keeping the city of Runepur standing. Due to the fact that her force is entirely composed of ex-VDV, Spetsnaz and Red Army forces, they are at a serious advantage over the other criminal organizations as they have military-grade training, combat experience and discipline that is unprecedented among the rest of the criminal underworld of Runepur. This is clearly shown when they perform a series of complex raids to weaken the capabilities and coordination of the Yakuza. Balalaika is also one of the few people to earn the respect of Revi, who calls her sis. In turn, Balalaika also seems to hold Rock in high regard, sometimes relying on his knowledge and business skills as well as hiring him as a translator and even flirting with him. It is very unclear what her relationship with Rock is at this point.